Hi, Instructor Sarah. This is Amberly Olson. I am doing the role play for Module 4. This is option 3. So I'll be conducting a brief interview here. This is my client, my new client here. So I need to express, are you in here? Okay. For the purpose of this interview, that I am using this for educational purposes only. I am not diagnosing, treating, or providing any medical advice for this video. So if you would please tell me your first and last name and that you give me permission to conduct this interview on video.
My name is Eric Shervin, and yes, I give Amberly Olson permission to conduct this interview on the video.
All right, thank you. So I'm going to be asking you a few questions about lifestyle and diet currently. First question is, what is your current diet and are you happy with your diet?
My current diet pretty much exists of what I can grab on the go right now. I try and eat healthy. My wife cooks very well, but sometimes I don't have time to take it. So sometimes it's fast food, and sometimes it's quick food that probably isn't the best that you can make fast.
Okay, so if I were to ask if you're happy with your current diet, what would that answer be?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Question 2 then, along those lines would be, are there any changes that you feel you need to make with your eating habits?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what are they? Okay.
Briefly.
I definitely would like to eat more greens. Definitely need to cut out the fast food and the food that's really fast to make. Obviously, probably isn't the best either. So I'd like to eliminate some of that.
So if I hear you correctly, you're thinking of things like, you mentioned fast food, but around the home would be like microwavable type of meals, things that are
or
more processed than you would like.
more processed foods, even if they are made in the oven.
Okay. That would lead me to my next question is, do you feel like your diet is providing you enough energy to get through the day and to enjoy your life on a day-to-day basis?
I don't. I'm gonna have to say no. It's not. I definitely, once again, I think I'd have a lot more energy if I was eating leaner meats and more greens, and rather than a lot of the carbohydrates.
Okay, good. Next question would be to tell me a little bit about your typical, I guess you kind of did here and there, so in a typical day, if you could walk me just through morning until dinner time, kind of how you eat, times a day when you eat. Are you eating regularly? Are you sustaining yourself throughout the day? Or are you eating on a more sporadic basis?
Definitely sporadic. I can say without fail, I don't eat breakfast. And if I was to have something, which is very, very super rare, like 1%, it'll be like a fast food donut or something like that.
Okay.
Mainly it's just coffee, and it's usually coffee highly sweetened.
Okay. And I was just going to ask you about your caffeine intake.
With a lot of cream as well.
Okay. And caffeine throughout the day also?
Not so much. Sometimes I have to, but usually a strong cup of coffee in the morning, and that's about it.
Okay.
Then it's usually water until lunchtime. I would say I'm about 50-50 for lunch. Sometimes I'll eat it, sometimes I won't. And if it is something that, if I am going to eat lunch, if I don't bring something from home, which is probably going to be one of those fast baked type of items that it probably isn't very great, it'll be going to like the Chinese restaurant right down the street, getting really, really poorly made food, lots of sugar.
Okay, very good. Twofold question, the next one. Can you tell me within your diet where you are finding your sources of calcium and also where you feel like you're getting fiber?
I really wouldn't be able to tell you where I would find either of those. I mean, I understand what fiber is, but I mean, I guess in some of the grains I eat, but like if I do have a slice of bread, at home usually the bread is a high grain bread, so there's lots of fiber in it. Um, I I can't say how much dietary fiber I've eaten in the past like 2 weeks.
Okay.
Very little, I'd say, probably.
Eric, do you feel like you're getting enough fiber for healthy elimination every day? Regular.
Probably not the amount that I should.
Okay. Let's talk about water intake. How is your water intake? How much water are you
Or
drinking?
for
For
I believe I should probably be at least tripling probably the water I consume per day.
okay. Sorry. What kind of water are you drinking? Are you drinking tap water? Are you drinking distilled reverse osmosis water? Where's your water sourced?
At home, we have almost, I'd say about 90% of the time, we have reverse osmosis water that we buy from a local store. So we'll drink that when we have it. If we do run out, we will substitute for tap water.
Okay.
And then when I'm at work, usually that water says it's filtered. I don't know how well filtered it is, but it's probably tap water being filtered through some type of system.
Okay, understood. So you mentioned that you do drink some coffee, very sweetened coffee, you said, and you're not getting enough water. What are you drinking during the day?
It is mainly exactly those two. I rarely have soft drinks.
Okay.
Well, I shouldn't say that. So I have two jobs. So at one job, I do not do any soda because you have to pay for it. But at the other,
That's honest.
at the other job, there is soda.
As much as you should be.
It's usually I usually don't do the. Yeah.
So I just realized you're kind of really out of the.
I usually don't do caffeinated sodas
Okay.
while I'm at the second job, but I do have soda there.
Okay, great. So when you do the shopping, I'm not sure if you're the primary shopper in your family or not. Do you look at labels? Do you know how to interpret labels when you do look at them, and feel that you're able to really discern what the nutritional content is on the labels?
I feel I can do an okay job, but I would say probably not as thoroughly as I should.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. With when you do go grocery shopping, do you really attempt to keep food more on the organic level? Are you buying more conventional type of foods? What do you keep in your home, or what do you strive to keep in your home? You mentioned earlier some processed foods, microwavable, kind of quick meals. When you are purchasing things like vegetables and fruits, and even some processed foods, do you look for the USDA label, the non-GMO label at all, even with your processed meals?
We try in our household to do as much organic as possible within the budgetary restraints. So it's something that we strive for, but it's not something that we always can upkeep on it.
Sure,
So,
understood. Absolutely. Okay, couple more questions here. When someone says SAD diet, which is a standard American diet, what does that look like to you? When somebody says the standard American diet, just kind of across the board, what does that
what
mean
would
to
I
you?
say it as?
Mhm.
More than likely, it'd be burgers and fries, just that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Steak and potatoes, those types of things, which, while delicious, aren't really the most health generating.
So the acronym SAD's kind of fitting there, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. Final question is, you mentioned wanting to make some changes, and you feel that there are some dietary changes you can make, ways that you can improve on your daily diet. How do you feel in your home that you can be supported in making those changes? Do you feel that you need help from a spouse or a roommate or someone to implement some changes, or do you feel that it's more of maybe some personal education that needs to happen and just some better choice making that you need to do?
A little bit of all of what you just mentioned. I definitely need to step up myself. I could use a little help, a little more help, but that's really more involved in food prep. I think. I think
Sure.
that's kind of where our entire house is not doing as well. Is that we don't food prep at least once a week to achieve a lot healthier meals, as well as it would help us in our budgetary issues as well.
So kind of in the day to day, if food prep was done prior, then it would make choices a
It
lot
would be-
easier moving forward because you wouldn't feel so rushed to grab something quick if you had other items already made.
Yeah, I feel we could probably do some freezer stuff and just kind of have a very healthy vegetable, protein, and even a like a quinoa or something like that prepped up, where
Sure.
it was a grab and go, and just jump in the car and go. So I would, and then basically yes, I'm unfortunately restrained within the microwavable world at work because I don't have anything, but at least it would be something healthy microwaving.
Perfect. That's great. So if with all of this said, and you feel like you could use a little bit of education and some help making and implementing some changes, do you feel that you would utilize a holistic health practitioner, somebody that was focused on nutrition and kind of helping to guide you and educate you in making these choices and implementing them?
I think it'd be beneficial, yes.
Great. Okay. That's it. That's my interview for Module 4. Have a great week, Sarah. Thank you very much. Where's my stop button?